Before we get into it, make sure you have a drill with a Phillips head screwdriver, pliers, and some masking tape. Inside the box, you'll find your rolled up paper guide. You'll use this on the floor and on the wall. You'll find a bag with instructions and all the necessary hardware. Next, remove all of the panels and take off their plastic coating. Double check the contents of the plastic bag. Remove the instructions and keep them handy. You should find a magic eraser, which we'll use for cleanup afterwards. You'll find drywall anchors, a bag of screws, and a bag of small bolts and nuts. And finally, you'll find metal spacers, which you'll use to separate the books. Unroll the paper guide and place it on the floor. Place something heavy on the corners to make sure it doesn't move around. Next, you're going to be assembling the shelf pieces on the floor using the paper guide. Match all the shelf pieces to the drawings. Take care to match the letters A to A, B to B, and so on. Find the bag with bolts and nuts and start attaching the panels together, finger tight. Make sure that the metal is flush, and then tighten with a screwdriver. Repeat this process until all of the A, B, and C panels are joined together. Set the center section aside. Now, use the paper to decide where your shelf is going to go. Match the image to the orientation you prefer. Secure the paper guide using masking tape. Masking tape is preferred because it doesn't damage the paint. Find your bag of drywall anchors and grab a drill. We will now pre-drill the wall using the arrows on all the anchor points.
Cool. And these other holes are there just in case you hit something, for whatever reason this hole won't work. Maybe there's something behind the wall you can't drill through, you can just go and do one of the alternate. So if you can get the two with the arrows, that's ideal, but if you can only get one, that'll work too. Damn, your wall's hard.
You may experience difficulty with the drywall anchors. This could be for a lot of reasons, and here's what you do. Try skipping that hole and go to another one. Remember to wear gloves in case your drill slips. Like that.
So this wall is actually a plaster and lath wall, which means that the drywall anchors won't work. So we're just going to use the screws. It's actually a little easier. We're just going to go same thing, each of these holes with the arrow, just screw it right in, and then we're going to actually pull it out after we're done. Kind of hold it with your finger to keep it stable as you go. Go all the way in and then all the way out.
Continue this step until all of the holes have been pre-drilled. You can now remove the paper guide from the wall. We are now ready to secure the center section of the bookshelf to the wall. Match the anchor point holes. Best accomplished with a second set of hands. Be careful not to go in all the way. Keep the screws slightly loose. That way you can pivot and shift the bookshelf as it's being assembled. The center of the bookshelf is now strong enough to hang on its own as you work. Return to the outer bookshelf section and make sure all the bolts and nuts are attached. Then, put it in place on the wall, matching the anchor points and the pre-drilled holes. Remember not to drive the screws completely to the wall. Leave them loose for now. Once you've secured the outer bookshelf section to the wall, you can then join them together with the nuts and bolts. Once you've connected this panel and tightened it with a Phillips screwdriver, you can then firmly hand tighten all of the screws at all of the anchor points. No job is finished until cleanup. We've supplied you with a magic eraser. Get the magic eraser wet, but squeeze out the excess water. The magic eraser is excellent for removing smudges from the installation process. Remove any marks you'd like, and then wipe down the wall with a paper towel. Locate your bag of metal spacers for the final step. Add your books. To keep the outer part of the book spiraling, you use these metal spacers. This will give the books the appearance of spiraling. This is the fun part. Load up your spiral bookshelf. Voila! You have your spiral bookshelf installed and ready to rock. Remember to tell your friends where you got it.